Y'all, it's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone had a legendary weekend. I know I did, and anybody who was at that Niner game probably did. Brian and I are going to go ahead and break down the Niners game. Not really necessarily break down the game per se, but we're going to at least give our thoughts about, kind of stock up, stuff down, and give our thoughts about, um, you know, the game. But before we get it started, we'd like to remind everybody that you can subscribe to our channel on Twitch for free. Just hook up your Amazon Prime through Amazon Gaming, and you're allowed one free sub every month. We hope that you use it on your favorite Niner show on Twitch. That's Niner Faithful Radio. Also, just a reminder, you do have to subscribe each month. Honestly, don't know why they do that, but for the faithful, by the faithful, pre-launch sale is here now. Save 20% off of our designs. Please make sure to go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/shop to check out all our designs and save your 20%. Go to seatgiant.com. Use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio to save on all your concert, theater, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Get your officially licensed Niner gear by using our affiliate link. It costs you no more, and it really does help out the show. The link will be available in the description of this video and podcast. Make sure you follow the show on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Also, go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/subscribe to see everywhere you can check out the show. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let's get this party started.
Now, 8 seconds to go, third down. They only have time for two plays no matter what. So Rice goes out to the left. And if you want to take one crack, maybe he's the guy you should go for. Young almost falls down. Throws to the end zone.
All right, and what a beautiful day for Faithful Talk. Let me go ahead and bring out one of the men of the hour. Brian, how you doing? Hey, look, your boy is goofy. I barely got any sleep this weekend. I actually bought 3 monsters and I forgot I'm at home. So we're gonna get through the show though. We're gonna get through this hour. Maybe a little over an hour. But so I actually thought a little trippy though, and this will be the only time we mention the score. But the Niners lost 19-16, and it was funny because we all know those are the two franchises that Joe played for, and he wore number 19 for Kansas City, and he wore number 16 for the Niners. So it's kind of a little coincidence thing that kind of tied Joe Montana, since he's probably the best Well, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback to play for Kansas City, or at least he's going to probably have the best career out of any quarterback for Kansas City. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of a little interesting tidbit. Now, I know yesterday in the group, Brian, you had mentioned Trey's numbers He finished the game 5 for 14 for 128 yards and 1 touchdown. With, let's be honest, what should have been a couple picks. Now we're not going to bury the lead here. We're going to pretty much get right into Trey Lance. And you asked if that was a concern, and you know what? I'm not. I have absolutely zero concern for Trey Lance. Now I'm not going to jump up and say, "Oh my God, he's the next coming of Joe Montana" or anything after that. After what we saw, but what I saw Saturday, being there live, was pretty much everything I seen in practice. You know, was under heavy pressure. You know, that second O line. I'm gonna be critical of him, and I know there's a lot of people out there saying, "Hey, look, you know, Chris Jones was out there playing against our second string line, and we already know what he did. You know, in Super Bowl 54. You know, Chris Jones is obviously not no slouch, but I'm going to be critical of the second string O line for the fact that that's what we seen in practice. You feel me? We seen Trey under that amount of pressure. We have. Oh wait.
Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell intercepted. The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption. Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown. No greater redemption. The man's seat. Navarro Bowman, who could not call an onside kick, catches a deflected pass for an interception and runs it 7 miles for a touchdown. For the second down.
Okay. All right. This shit's possessed, bro.
Yeah, we do
Whatever.
got a Twitch comment though.
All right, hold on. We're gonna go ahead and pop up in the Twitch comment. Let me go ahead and see where we're at. It's not letting me pull up the chat. Why is it not letting me pull up the chat? Chat. Here we go. Dude, it's literally not letting me pull up the chat. Oh, what's up? We're doing legendary, brother. How you doing? I see you, Niner Media. It's commenting on Twitch today and not on YouTube. That's weird. I don't know why it didn't show up on the here, but we're doing legendary, bro. But sorry about the little weird technical difficulties. That was hella weird. But so what I've seen mostly from Trey Lance and the second string is what I saw in practice. The second string offensive line can't block worth the shit. Lord help us if anybody goes down. And you know, Trey was inconsistent. And I'm not saying he wasn't bad, he wasn't good. It's what I've seen in practice. Now I know a lot of people have been bringing up the fact that he didn't really use his legs and everything like that. And you know, on our pregame show, I had mentioned that I didn't want to see Trey run. You know, we know Trey Lance can run the football. That's not an issue. I don't need to see that in August 14th. I want to see it September 12th. You know, but we don't need to see it August 14th. I'm not worried about it. I wanted to see Trey Lance play quarterback. Hey, can you sit there in the pocket and take some hits? You know, obviously not too many. You know, can you get sacked and get back up? Can you, you know, I know that he was going to move within the pocket. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, I didn't want to see him run. I don't want to see design runs, and I don't want to see him take off. I wanted him to scramble but still look to throw. And that's exactly what he did on Saturday. And I think that we should be very encouraged by what we saw, because we saw the wow, right? We saw that 80-yard touchdown. That Jimmy Garoppolo can't make that play.
Mhm.
You know, and I did not watch the game on TV, but I've watched some of the highlights, and I know that John Lynch had talked about how Brandon Ayuk flashed open in front of him, but he didn't take the underneath throw. He went ahead and threw the ball deep to
Yeah.
Sherfield. Jimmy throws that ball to Brandon Ayuk, which is fine. It would have been a good play. It would have got us a first down, kept the chains moving. But you see the difference between moving the chains moving to now all of a sudden a quick score, the ability of a quick score offense.
Exactly.
So, Brian, what were your thoughts about Trey Lance on Saturday?
No, I agree with you. Obviously, we're not gonna throw around everything. We're not gonna
Yeah,
show all his abilities. I mean, it's week one preseason. Come on. Um, the thing is that maybe the stats, like I said, is that a concern? The stat sheet doesn't show everything that happened on the field. Um,
I I think what it's missing is the contents, and the contents is the heavy pressure that he was under, and also missing the contents of what I personally counted 3 drops. I've heard as many as 5 drops. Um, I know that there was the two by Richie James and the one by Brandon Ayuk, which was very uncharacteristic.
yeah, on the first play, I
Yeah,
think.
it was third down, the first third
Yeah,
down on the first drive that he took over.
yeah,
But no, so I think that you add in those 3 drops. Let's just call it 4. Fine, that's 9 of 14. That's a little bit different. All of a
yeah,
sudden that's my thoughts. Trey Lance looked solid, made a few mistakes in the second half, but it's expected. Exactly. Exactly. I think that should be any reasonable faithful's thoughts on Trey Lance. Was that you saw maybe that he's not quite ready? Fine, you could say he could do what Jimmy Garoppolo does. That's fine. But I don't want Trey Lance to be in there to do what Jimmy Garoppolo does. Because if Trey Lance is going to be in there to do what Jimmy Garoppolo does, why the hell did we trade all that?
yeah,
Why the hell did we trade up to draft him? You know, I wanted to see more. I wanted to see the not necessarily 80-yard bomb, but I want to see more of those plays where you're just like, look, anybody knows me. I don't like to call myself a Jimmy Stan. I'm not. I am a Jimmy Garoppolo fan. I do believe Jimmy can win us a championship. I believe Jimmy is a good quarterback, but even I can admit there's just things that throw on the sideline that Richie James dropped that I'll admit would have been a difficult catch, but still you gotta bring those in, and we'll get to Richie James here in a second. But that ball was just that's on the money. That's a throw that Jimmy can't make. I mean that's just Jimmy just doesn't have the arm strength to do that throw. And so I thought that you saw you saw the awesomeness of Trey, but then you saw some inconsistencies. He was high. I agree with Niner Media that the second half did not look as pretty as the first half. That 2-minute drive in the end of the second quarter was abysmal. Uh, which is, what? I want to say 2 caveats of that. That's what we saw in practice.
mhm,
Um, there were several practices that Niners specifically worked on 2-minute drill, and I would say that Trey Lance struggled in majority of them.
yeah,
And B, also that was literally the first time that man's ever ran a 2-minute offense like that. And so I think that what you could see now and what the faithful should take away from this game is be high on Trey. I don't think I'm not gonna say we took the right quarterback yet. You know, let's see more of Justin Fields. Let's see more of Mac Jones. Whatever. I'm pretty confident in saying we took the right quarterback over Mac Jones. I'm pretty confident in saying that just by simply some of the plays that we saw Saturday. But let's see. But I don't think the Niners made a mistake. If that makes any sense, I'm not going to say they took the best quarterback, but I'm going to say it's clear that they didn't make a mistake. I'm pretty confident Trey Lance isn't going to be a bust.
no, yeah,
So moving on from Trey Lance, I'm going to get into a little stock down. Brian, we'll let you go ahead and give the first stock down of the show.
like a mention.
Like stock down, like who are you less high on?
Um, I gotta say, Richie James, man.
That's what I was going to
Um,
go with.
I saw that from you, my bad. But man, it's just ridiculous. I don't see him
He's
pass.
not making a mistake.
Nah, I don't know. He maybe had a bad week, but I don't see him um, going this far. I mean, He's replaceable like this, and
Yeah,
I don't see him if he
you know,
doesn't make up next week. It's just hard to say.
you know what? To me, and Niner Media, go ahead and let us know your thoughts on Richie James, but or let me know your thoughts on this question, and I'll ask you as well, Brian. Would you rather have Simba Webster, who number 6, returning kicks and returning punt, or maybe not punts, because it does seem like they're going to have Brandon Ayuk do that, but I'd rather have Simba Webster on this roster at this point because it's not like it's year one of Richie James. He's been on the squad since 2018,
Yeah.
and at this point, you think that you would have seen something by now. Now, obviously, we know that he did flash in the Green Bay game, and it's been more of a lack of opportunities. Well, you know what? Maybe we see why he got the lack of opportunities. Because honestly, I, the reason I'm so confident that he's not going to make the roster is because, or shouldn't make the roster, is because this is what it's been like in practice. He's dropped balls in practice. So it'd be different if, hey, you're dropping balls in practice and everything, but you come through in the game. Hey, we all
Yeah.
saw it. A man who's going into the 49er Hall of Fame this year, John Taylor, was famous for being a shitty practice player. Shitty practice player. But when the lights came on, I mean, man's going in the Niner Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's fine. But I'm looking at Richie James. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Richie James has been struggling in practice to show up in the game too. Other guys, except for Webster, Jennings, Sanu in practice. I don't see how he makes the roster. I feel the same way with Hurd in terms of I don't know if he makes the roster since he hasn't played. Yeah, we were gonna get since Brian went ahead and took my stock down. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add Jalen Hurd's stock down. Now I know that Kyle Posey on from Striking Gold I believe the pod came out today. I believe he said that it was probably a good sign. Jalen Hurd didn't play today. I don't think so because to me, I need to see it, and so obviously it looks like we've made the initial moves that will bring us down to 85 tomorrow. But when it comes to second cut day, I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Hurd or Richie James are off this roster by second cuts coming next week, which would be the 24th. So to me, this is a huge week of practice for both Richie James and Jalen Hurd. Um, if I don't see it out of this week, out of practice, then um, I, I'm seeing him on the outside because right now, as Niner Media said, I'd rather have Jennings. I'd rather have Jennings than Webster right now at this point. You
Yeah.
know.
I heard talk that we might eventually cut Webster. Um, I don't know if it leaked out. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I'd be disappointed in that because honestly, out of all the people that return kicks, he looked the best. Now I understand that there's a context if it's the fourth quarter of a preseason game.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a lot of people that simply won't be in the NFL. Come a month from now. So matter of fact, actually 2 weeks from now, um, or 2 weeks from tomorrow. Sorry. I understand that, but he just looked the best with the
Yeah.
QB. Yeah, I do too. I think it was the Ken
Oh
Webster
yeah.
got cut. Yeah, I believe it was Ken Webster. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I was about to say the same thing too, Niner Media, because I was like, I looked up the roster and he's still on the roster. Not Ken Webster. Simba Webster. So
Oh.
more
Okay. Okay.
positive.
Okay.
So we went ahead and did stock down. I want to do stock up and then we're going to get into a couple of notes from Shanahan's press conference today because we actually got some really exciting news that Brian and I are actually both pumped up about. And although there is some negative injury news from this game, I think that Sherfield and Jennings, yeah. Um, so my stock up, and I know this is kind of not really a stock up because I've been pretty high on them, recently. But Diamador Lenore,
Yeah.
uh, you know, yeah, a lot of those they were clearly going after him.
Hmm.
I want to say it was in the fourth quarter. I want to say I want to say it was like a good 2-3 passes. It seemed like 2-3 passes in a row that they were specifically trying to target him on fade routes, on go routes. And the balls were obviously thrown out of bounds and incomplete and everything like that. We also saw the pick that he had, which I know a lot of people said, oh, well, it was thrown right to him. Yeah, but how many of those picks have we seen drop recently?
Hey, he had the
So,
eye on the ball. He
yeah,
never
exactly. So,
he
cool.
never let
Yep,
go.
yep, exactly. My whole point about that was, okay, cool. Well, guess what? They always say the hardest thing in sports to do is what you should. So you're right. He should have packed out that ball. That ball needed to be intercepted, and guess what? It was. So congratulations, Diamador Lenore. Those when they were targeting him, I want to say it was the fourth quarter. Um, Even though the balls were well thrown out of bounds, his coverage was perfect.
Hmm.
I mean, even if those balls would have been on target, I find it very hard for that they would have completed those passes. So big stock up to Diamador Lenore. I know that I was saying that he needed some work and everything like that, but maybe he might be a John Taylor. Just doesn't show up that well in practice, but shines brightest when the lights come on. And
Yeah.
so I
I,
know
I
Jason. Go ahead.
I seen him go against Brandon Ayuk on fade routes during practice. Like that's just the stuff that's gonna make him better. And going against him every day in practice, I mean, level come um how much of the level of him practicing with Brandon and the
Yeah,
Kittle, that's just it's gonna make him better. He's
yeah.
gonna
No,
be
he talked about it. He talked about it in his press conference after the game about how going up against Brandon Ayuk and going up against some of our legit receivers has helped him. And so I'm not saying he's ready to start week one, you know, and we're ready to bench Emmanuel Mosley. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm
yeah,
saying that for all of us who said, hey, look, corner might be a little bit of a depth concern. It may take a little bit, but it might not be if we could stay healthy for a while during the season. I think that Diamador Lenore will definitely develop some to that he might be able to come in and do some spot duty towards the end of the season. And honestly, out of a fifth round pick, that's foul money.
exactly.
If you can get somebody who can contribute the rookie year on defense, he's going to have to contribute on special teams
Yeah,
his rookie year regardless.
yeah,
That's no ifs ands or buts about that. He will play special teams. But if we can get him to be able to be and enough that he can play a backup role on defense, man, I'm fired up for that for a fifth round pick. That's what's up.
yeah.
Brian, a stock up player for you? I have a feeling I know where
Um,
you're going to go, but we'll see.
I mean, I want to say Trent Sherfield, but I don't know. It's because no one saw him. Like, okay, we picked him up from Arizona, I believe.
Mhm.
He
Yeah,
wasn't. He's not a favorite to make the 50-man roster. But now, I mean, it's I don't know. It seemed like they were just trying to work him out first, and then see what we got, and they got a hell of a player right there. Um, go ahead.
no, I definitely agree with whatever you're saying. Look, I thought, okay, yeah, special teams can't body and everything like that, but he's definitely
Mhm.
look. I think that the most encouraging thing about him is that he was flashing in practice. and what we saw was that he carried it over into the game. And I think that's the most encouraging thing that we can, and definitely deserving of a stock. That's actually not where I thought you were going to go, but definitely worthy of a stock up is because we saw what he was able to do on the practice field, and it translated into the game. So I'm definitely stock up on him. I'm going to go another stock up, and I'm going to say a mix. I'm going to do a two-parter and say Talanoa Hufunga and Jawan Jennings. Um,
Okay.
Maybe we saw Tyreek Hill make Hufunga look a little ridiculous, but I think that was a welcome to the NFL moment for the rookie. I
Yeah.
think that's hey, welcome to the NFL moment. This is one of the fastest men in the NFL. You're not going to see that type of speed in college, most likely.
Hmm.
So I think that. But what made me even more encouraged that he took his lump on that play, but he still kept on playing. He had a short term memory, and it did not affect him. You saw him still flying towards the ball. It seemed like every play on every play on special teams that he was in, and every play on defense that he was in, if they weren't saying Hufunga in on the tackle, that you were seeing number 29 near the football. And to me, that's what we've seen in practice. That's what we heard was his upside on why he got drafted.
Hmm.
You know, and it's excellent. It's legendary to be able to see that translate to the field from the practice field onto the to game day field, and definitely worth. I would say definitely if we had to start the season this Sunday, I still think it'd be Wilson over Hufunga,
Hmm.
but he's definitely deserves some snaps with the ones and a definitely a deeper look next week. Definitely he's earned some playing time, and I would say being a draft pick and what he can do on special teams, I would say I'm pretty safe with him making the roster. And you know what, honestly, if it looks like Jaquaski Tart isn't going to be able to play this season,
They're gonna.
I would. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case, but
Yeah.
if it legitimately comes out that Jaquaski Tart might not be able to play this season, I would dare say I would take him over Jaquaski Tart. Now, I'm not saying a healthy Jaquaski Tart. No, I'm taking a healthy Jaquaski Tart.
Yeah.
But
No.
if Tart's simply just not going to be available this year, or at least until the later parts of the season, I'm okay with Talanoa Hufunga from what I've seen so far. Um, a little bit of a note that I want to get into, and then we'll go ahead and get into a, a commercial break. I'm a little bit, I'm very conflicted about Jermichael Hasty. He obviously led the team with rushing yards. I want to say it was 9 carries for 63 yards. Hold on, I have it right here. Um, 11 carries for 63 yards and a score, which, let's be real, should honestly have been the game winning touchdown. Uh, we'll get into that after the commercial break. We'll go ahead and get into my thoughts about D'Amico Ryans and his first game calling plays. By any chance, anybody let me know in the comments, or Brian, if you know, was he in the booth or was he on the sideline calling plays?
Um, I think. Let me search it up right now.
Okay. See if you could figure out if he's in the booth or on the sideline calling plays. I'm just not that big of a deal. I'm just kind of curious about it. But getting into my one note is Jermichael Hasty has clearly shown the talent to be able to play in the NFL, but he's fumbled in practice and he's fumbled in the game.
Hmm.
And we all know that's why Matt Breida's no longer here. Um, so I find it very interesting. Now, Grant Cohn brought up with Elijah Mitchell. Oh, I did say we would get into those, and then we'll take our commercial break. But Elijah Mitchell will be out a couple weeks with an abductor strain and is likely to miss a couple weeks. Aaron Banks is likely to be sidelined for a week, maybe as many as 3 weeks. Um,
Sammy.
Sammy Watkins Jr. That's the other one I was looking for. Sammy Watkins Jr. is placed on IR. With he'll be back, but it's gonna be looks like it's gonna be 6 to 8 weeks. Um, I want to say this. I want to apologize to Austin Watkins Jr. God, I
Uh,
can't speak right now. I want to apologize for him because the man's played the second quarter. What's up, Jason? How you doing, bro? Um, so I want to apologize to him because I was getting on his ass. I cussed him out pretty good on that last play when we got the false start that caused a 10-second runoff to end the game. Um, I was pissed because I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, get your
uh,
ass to the ball. Go, 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 go. I'm like, let's go. Put some pep in your step. And now that I see that the man was playing with a broken foot, I understand why he was a little slow to get back to the line.
yeah.
So, Mr. Watkins Jr., I apologize from the bottom of my heart, sir. I tip my cap to you and give you a round of applause. You get the Iron Man Tough Guy of the Week award because I couldn't have played football with a broken foot.
Hell
Um,
no. No.
so I want to personally apologize to Austin Watkins Jr. We signed Kendricks. We released Burgess, Payne, and Vendoros. Um, I know there was a bigger detail on the injuries. Um, I think that's it. Um, Let me see injury update. Yeah. All right. Well, I know there was a few more. Javon Kinlaw hurt his shoulder. He's did Shanahan say week to week or day to day? I can't remember. And there was one other one that was Trent Williams. They said it possibly hurt his knee or hip in practice. They got him out there. They're going to look at him, but Shanahan said there's nothing to be over concerned about. Um, and then who was it? Damn it! I know there was another one. Should have wrote it down. I apologize that the Niners will have it out on their website. And then in positive news, and then we'll get to our commercial breaks after this. But in our positive news, we have Nick Bosa news. Nick Bosa is on track to return to team. Uh, no, we haven't. Have you guys seen the disrespect on Trey from Madden? No. You know what,
No,
Jason? We'll go ahead. Oh,
did you
you
see
saw
the
it?
Kittle one? Did you see the Kittle one?
Uh. Um.
Man, they have my man wearing a do-rag.
Oh, that was. Oh, wow. Um. Well, we'll get into that on tomorrow's show. Made him look like Red from Friday. Oh God, we'll have to get into that. I'll have to. Hey, Jason, do me a favor. Send a screenshot or something of it to the chat, and I'll look at it and we'll go over it on tomorrow's show. But Nick Bosa will be returning to team activities next week. That is amazing. Um, I would dare say that we're gonna get. All right, I'll have to look at it. Um, we're going to maybe get a little bit of Nick Bosa action versus the Raiders. Um, that's what's up. Very positive news. Samson Ebukam, Aziz Al Shair. Um, let's see, morning report. Here we go. And Uh, damn it! They should have had it on the morning report.
Yeah,
It was
check it out.
Samson Ebicom. You know what? Let me pull it up on Twitter. I know it's on Twitter. Sorry about. You know what? We'll go ahead and we'll take a commercial break, and then I'll go ahead and I'll put it on, and we'll be back in. Hold on. Let me wait. 30 more seconds. We'll run it at 38 minutes, and that way we'll be back, or 36 minutes, and we'll be back at 39 minutes. So 20 seconds, 15, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're good. All right, I'm gonna remove myself for. I'll be back.
Okay, okay. I got the live to myself. Nah, it's fine. Um, the people on Twitch could still see me.
All right, I found it. It was. I guess this was yesterday's morning report, but we're still on. We're still on break. So.
Oh, okay.
God, I'm freaking tired. I can't wait till this hour comes up, so I can go get something to eat and go take a nap.
Man, I saw the George
Kittle.
Kittle one. Yeah, man, just they were just going on and on roasting him. Like, when have
Yeah.
they seen Kittle? When have they seen Kittle with the direct gun?
You know what,
He
bro?
never
Last
wears.
time I can't even remember the last Madden I even really played like that.
Man,
It's
Madden.
probably like. I mean, it's Madden, bro. Like I respect what Madden is, and
Yeah.
like I ain't gonna lie, it hasn't. I want to say it hasn't been that long since I played it, because
Uh-huh.
go over to the homie's house and you go over to the homie's house and play some Madden. But damn, we still got 2 minutes left, so we're only gonna have about 20 minutes. Cool.
Yes, go. Let's go. Let's go.
Um. So again, I'm extending the offer for you to come and do the post game
Mhm.
this week. If there's a reason that you can't do it, just let me know.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. It was just this Saturday. I, I, t- I don't know why I totally forgot. I had to pick up my dad from the airport,
it's all
and
good.
then he went to North Carolina for a bit.
That's all good, bro.
But
I was a tripping. It's a preseason game, and I mean, it's not gonna be. Don't stress about it. It's mostly just so we hit our hours. We are a tad bit behind on where I'd like us to be. So it's just a way to hit our hours. I'm not
yeah,
stressing about it, especially now that the rest of the preseason will be on Sundays. So it's like whatever, just tune in tomorrow and hear our thoughts. Like you know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah,
like they gotta wait that long. But it's
but
mostly to hit our hours. Uh once the season hits, it'll be a little less stressful because we won't have to hit hours. Yeah, we can stream as much or as little as we want. All right, let me see how much time we got left. Then we still got like a minute 20.
and this ads run on YouTube or
It's on
Twitch?
Twitch apparently, but I don't know because my homegirl was watching next to me when I was doing the uh, pregame show on Saturday,
Uh-huh.
and she said she could like when she showed me when I was supposed to be on ad,
Uh-huh.
and all you saw was my the blank this. Oh, that's not gonna do it, but it just showed the avatar. So I don't know if it's,
Oh.
but it shows on some of our shit. It
Mhm.
shows that we are making ad revenue. So I would assume, and we got our money from Twitch for June,
Mhm.
and so we'll be getting July and September, and then August in November or October. But we made a little bit of extra more than the 150, which is I'm assuming our ad revenue. So I don't know, but we're doing what we're supposed to. So we'll
So
see.
the Twitch thing is going really good for you guys.
That's going all right. Well, we'll see. All right, we got about 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, for sure.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All right, and we're black. We're black. Well, I'm black, but we're back. Um,
Yeah.
so, God, I went ahead and was able to find it. So, let me pull you the exact quote from Kyle Shanahan when asked whether Nick Bosa will begin practicing next week. That's what I'm hoping for. Shanahan said Monday, if we stay on track, I think we'll see him next week. We already talked about Trent Williams. We talked. Okay, so Sean Coleman suffered a minor knee injury during Saturday's game and is considered day to day. Let's see. Austin Watkins Jr. And then why didn't they give? Why they didn't give us updates for? Yeah, they didn't give us. That's so weird. I thought it gave us anyway. Bunch of players are returning to practice. Um, we'll somehow get that to y'all tomorrow. Um, so they just extended beta. Okay.
They extended who?
Um,
Oh, for
oh, for
Madden.
Madden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I had no idea what that means. I was like, they just extended Bosa. What? I was like, what?
Man,
Um,
we just went through all this live and they just barely extended Bosa.
yeah, I know, right? But although I know this is a Niner podcast, but I'm pretty sure majority of our audience is also Giants fans. So awesome to see that Brandon Crawford signed a 2-year extension with the Giants yesterday. Um, I bring this up only because it's really Brandon Crawford's a really cool story because he grew up here in the Bay Area. He grew up, I believe, I want to say he grew up in Mountain View, um, or at least his mom was a teacher in Mountain View. But he's posted throughout the years, posted many pictures on the social media of him wearing Giants hats and at Giants games and all that. And so it's very cool to see in sports. You don't see it very much, where like Brandon Crawford will only ever put on one baseball hat his whole life, one pro baseball hat. You know what I'm saying? Like literally from the time he's born to the day he dies, he'll only ever put on a Giants hat. And that's pretty cool to be able to see something like that. To see that because he won't ever put on a baseball hat after he retires because I'm pretty sure he'll go back to being a Giants fan. And players usually do support the teams that they played for, and it's just going to be 1 and 2. You can go back to being a fan, and it just so happens that the team he'd go back to being a fan of is also the organization that he played for. But it's always kind of funny to see things like that. Like, it's very public that Jerry Rice grew up a Cragos fan. So did Patrick Willis. Patrick Willis was very open doing his interviews, talking about how he hated the Niners.
Yeah.
And he never thought he'd play for them. This is Patrick Willis we're talking about. I promise you, if there ever comes a day where another player wears number 52, you will see riots in the street from the faithful. The day that somebody ever had this. I remember the day that equipment manager made mistakes of giving Brandon Jacobs number 21. And there were people outside, like there were people ready to lynch him on Twitter.
Man.
Like you gave away Frank Gore's number, and like people were ready. Like, wouldn't surprise me if that man received death threats. Like, especially over number 21. Like,
Yeah. No. Come
look,
on, man.
I will always say this. Frank Gore is not the best player in franchise history.
Uh-huh.
I would dare say that he probably wouldn't make the Niners Mount Rushmore. I believe that that goes to Joe, Jerry, Ronnie, and Bill Walsh. I would pretty much think that most people would be pretty secure having that be their Niner Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
But as far as beloved players, yeah, I know, B. Wide and there's some old school Niners. I know Bob Sinclair in his time was really loved by the fan base, but I don't believe there's ever has, nor will there ever be a player more loved than Frank Gore. I mean, I know people that will fight people over Frank Gore. I mean, it is real serious, our love affair with Frank Gore. And I think that's because, Frank still loves the Niners. When he talks about the
Yeah.
Niners, he still says we. He never says the Niners or San Francisco or whatever. He'll say we. Like I saw an interview with him on the Super Bowl, and he said, Frank, who's going to win this week? He goes, come on, we going to win. And I was just like, that's Frank. The man was on the New York Jets and still had, I believe it was I want to say it was his profile picture or his cover photo. But his cover or profile picture while he was on the Jets was still him in a Niner uniform. I mean, that's how much that Frank Gore. Hold on, we're going to look it up right now. That's how much Frank Gore loves the Niners. I mean, it's just there was even some podcasts I was listening to with the injury to
Oh, it was
um
Jeff Wilson, and that we need another
yeah,
um we need
it was
another
running back.
yeah,
It
veteran
was
running back.
it was after it was just recently when Elijah Mitchell. I can't think of his name.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay. I'm not gonna
um,
forget.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
it's his profile picture.
yeah, I
His
had
his his, his cover photo right now is split between him and a Niners and Jets jersey, but his profile picture is him with Tom Rathman.
uh-huh.
And
I'm not
so,
gonna
go
I'm not
ahead.
I'm not gonna forget those days where I had to look up on Google Frank Gore, HD wallpaper for my iPhone 4. Like,
Oh, come on, bruh. Come
it,
on. I mean,
legendary, man. It's
I still have my Frank Gore. I'm not a person who. I mean, of course, when I was a little kid, I had a Jerry. Never forget. I had a poster that in the middle it was. I want to say in the middle it was Steve Young, and then it
uh-huh.
had Jerry Rice, T.O., J.J. Stokes, and Garrison Hurst on it. Right. I remember I had that. I had a Jerry Rice poster. I had I think one or two Steve Young posters. I had a Merton Hanks poster. I think it had Merton Hanks on it. I had a poster. I believe it had Merton Hanks on it. And then I used to have I bought a poster,
Uh-huh.
but it was a poster, but it got tossed out the window on the bus. But it was a poster. It had Jerry Rice and Steve Young, and it said Bay Bombers, and it said most touchdowns from a quarterback to receiver in NFL history. So I mean, I had posters when I was a little kid.
Hmm.
I still got a few, but I'm not big on getting player posters. It feels kind of weird being a grown man who like has like you know teenagers,
Yeah.
basically almost teenagers on my wall. It feels a little weird, you
Uh-huh.
know. But I have a Frank Gore poster, and I will always have that Frank Gore poster.
Yeah.
Frankie G's poster will always be. Yeah, I'm a whole. It's tore up as fuck, bro. It's like missing pieces and stuff like that. But I don't give a damn, bro. I still hold on to my Frank Gore
Yeah.
poster forever. I'll never let go of that poster.
That's
Um.
every man's dream, having a man cave full with posters and
Oh
collectibles.
yeah, come on, bro. Come on.
Like,
My ultimate goal. I can't wait. That will be like my mama. I finally made it type of moment
uh-huh.
is when I can build Faithful Studios because Faithful Studios is gonna be tricked the fuck out, bro. We're gonna have jerseys everywhere, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna eventually get like, uh, it's gonna look like our own version of the Ring of Honor. Then I'm gonna have the wall of the 408, which will be
Uh-huh.
every Niner that's any player that's ever played for the team that's from the 408.
Hmm.
They're gonna have their own, little wall, part of my wall. Obviously, you're gonna have Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia, Andre Carter are probably the two most famous, and Brett Jones are the three most famous Niners that are from the 408 that played for the Niners. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't remember that Brett Jones actually went to high school with my uncle. Him and my uncle were on the football team together. Um,
Oh man.
my uncle sucked. He was good. Um, hey, my
um.
uncle will even tell you himself. My uncle will be like, "Yeah, I sucked,"
Oh my.
but
I remember I was just on Instagram and I was like, Jeff Garcia 5 followed me. I'm like, oh, it's probably a fan account. Jeff Garcia
yeah,
followed me. I
yeah.
was like,
I had that moment with Grant Cohn.
uh huh.
I thought it was some like different spelling of his name. It was like Krantz with a C or
Hmm.
something. But I remember I was like, what the fuck? Grant Cohn followed me?
Uh huh.
Like, like obviously that's not as big as Jeff Garcia, but
Uh huh.
I mean, say what you want about the man, but the man does, he has plenty of followers and is legit in what he does. I
Yeah.
don't necessarily always agree with his opinions,
Yeah.
but I respect them because they come out of fact. I don't want to say out of facts, but I mean the man is at practice. So when he says, "Hey, this player ain't practicing well," he's speaking out of being there. It's not like he's pulling that out of his ass or reading
Yeah.
an article written by somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like the man's at practice.
Yeah.
He asked Kyle Shanahan these questions. So
Yeah.
I think he tends to like to do clickbait. I
Mhm.
think he has his lane, and his lane is at negative tends to be a negative spin. And I don't want to say clickbait because that makes it seem like he's not a good journalist, and I do think he's a good journalist. You know, um, but he definitely he too chooses certain topics for a reason. And I do think he takes certain positions for a reason.
Mhm.
And I'll just leave it out that without talking shit to the man because I've met him personally. Nice dude.
Nice.
Never didn't big time me. Had a good, I would say, good 15, 20 minute conversation with me. Didn't didn't brush me off, looked me in the eye when he was talking to me. So I don't want to seem like I hate Grant Cohn. I'm talking shit. I just don't necessarily.
Mhm.
And I told him straight to his face. I said, look, I don't always agree with your opinions, but I respect them. And I said, look, if you want to have if you come to me like, hey, Niners suck, I'm gonna be like, fuck you. But if you want to sit down and have a football conversation and give me legit reasons why you don't think you think the Niners are overrated, I'm down to have that conversation with anybody.
Mhm.
Give me reasons on why you're down on the team. I want to listen to those opinions because that helps me keep from being super homer. I know I tend to wear my red and gold glasses on the show, you know, more than maybe most people would. But I do try to listen to opposing opinions to
Mhm.
try to say like, and I agree with some of these things. Like, you know what he mentioned, and I want to say it was a show yesterday or today. He mentioned that he believes Elijah Mitchell will be an IR stash, and I can see that happening. I could see that if JaMychal Hasty shows well, and they don't think they can get him to the practice squad. Hey, Elijah, why don't you sit on IR until we can bring you until we suffer an injury, or maybe Jeff Wilson Jr. has a setback, and we
Yeah.
can bring you off of IR later in the season. I like that idea. I like the idea with the bye being so early. I like so many players being kept fresh. Now, obviously, we want everybody to be healthy for week one, but if that's not possible, if we can get Javarius Moore back later in the season, I know that's a long shot, but still, if we can get Jeff Wilson Jr. back, shit, if we can get Elijah Mitchell back, shit, if we can even get D Ford back, I'm okay with D Ford coming back after the bye week. That's fine. I don't necessarily need D. I would like D Ford week one, but I don't need D Ford week one. I need D Ford for the stretch drive. I need D Ford for those 12 weeks after the bye. That's what I need D Ford to be
Yeah.
healthy, fresh and healthy. Um, so, uh, were there any other topics you wanted to get to, Brian?
Um, no. I like to think the chat. It was really good today.
Yeah,
What
yeah, no, we definitely appreciate Jason and 49ers Media for coming in and interacting with the show. I've definitely had a good conversation, like the points that Niner Media made today. He made some good points. I really respect his thoughts on Trey Lance. All right,
Yeah.
Brian. Well, we appreciate you hopping on today's show. Um, everybody, stay tuned. Unless something comes up, we're be forward looking forward for Brian making his post game show about an hour after the game. We look forward to Brian making his post game show debut this week,
Yeah.
unless something comes up. So definitely make sure you tune into that. It will be live here on Twitch exclusively. We will not be sharing it on the podcast or on YouTube. Got to get those sports affiliated accelerator program hours. All right, bro. We'll go ahead and we'll see you Sunday for the post game show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. See you
All
guys.
right, bro. Thank you. All right, y'all. Let's move him from the studio. Okay, we kicked him from the studio. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. But before we do, we'd like to remind everybody to check out all our shows on live on twitch.tv/Niner Faithful Radio. For the Faithful by the Faithful pre-launch sale is here till August 29th. You have a little less than 2 weeks remaining to save 20% off of our designs. Make sure to go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio to save on all your concert, theater, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. That website again, SeatGiant.com, and the promo code, all one word. Go to get officially licensed Niner gear through our affiliate link from the team store. It will be available in the link of the description of this video. Go ahead and check it out, everybody. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. And make sure to go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop or /subscribe to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. I shall see y'all tomorrow for Niner Faithful Radio with Jason and myself. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.
Now, 8 seconds to go. Third down. They only have time for 2 plays no matter what. So Rice goes out to the left. And if you want to take one crack, maybe he's the guy you should go for. Young almost falls down. Throws to the end zone.
See ya.